want to come by.
They want to come by. I was like, it's kind of weird. I'm like, almost like gaggle of geese came by. I'm like, that's great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to GH stands for geese hiding or something. I don't know. I these geese flying by. The GH Media Spotlight and recap here on JLJ Media. You know who I am. You know who he is. Hello.
Hello.
We have to tell you who we are again. Yeah, we tell you guys who we are every week. You know who we are. Follow us. If you just feel like it, if you're inclined to.
On social media, in life, whatever. Just follow.
Yeah, wherever. Just follow us. JLJ Media. Wherever. You know, you can find it. I'm literally everywhere, folks. There's no excuse. No excuse. It's hot in Los Angeles. It's really hot for me. I want to do a special, dedicate this show this week. Before the show came on, Ed Asner passed away, 91 years old, 9-time Emmy winner. Lou Grant, Mary Tyler Moore Show, Up. Cobra Kai, he was in the last season of Cobra Kai. He continuously worked up until 90 years old. And I had the pleasure of knowing him. I interviewed him 3 times over the years, spent some time with him off camera. He was a pistol. He had a dirty mouth. But he also was very kind, considerate, funny, treated me very well every time he saw me. You can see my pictures I posted online of me and him together, my little tribute to him. But he's a true television legend, true legend. So he was one of the last people besides Betty White from Mary Tyler Moore Show still alive. So
yeah,
there you go, Frank.
No, it's a shame. I mean, it's he's been around for so long and done so many great roles. I mean, and it was just seeing him saying his goodbyes to other members that have passed before him. It was just like, oh, now it's Ed's time. Oh,
Ed's turn, yeah. And when I talked to him the last time, we talked about Up a lot because that brought him back kind of again to the younger generation. Mm-hmm. If you ever seen the movie Up, please, I cried at the. I mean, I'm a big blubbering baby anyway. I cried at the end. I cried, whatever. It was a very touching animated film. It was like it's very interesting. It was really good. It was a really good animated film, and it got him a lot of acclaim and attention.
Deservedly so. Just great to play the role of Lou Grant in a comedy as well as a drama. Come on.
One of the few to do that, actually. So, because most spin-offs are usually the same genre. It was a spin-off, but it was a hour-long drama out of this amazing comedy of Mary Tyler Moore Show. So he told me on camera he does like Spunk. He said he wanted to clear that out. He likes Spunk. That was always our joke. He's like, I like Spunk. So, but I got a chance to get to know him. He said I was a very lovely person. So I'll never forget him saying that. So I like him. So shout out to him and his family and the Ed Asner Family Foundation. They do a lot of philanthropy work. So just to tell them, yes, Betty White will be 100 in January.
Man,
yeah, she's still kicking.
Tara
says she cried the first 2 minutes of Up.
Yeah,
it was such a. I never watched it again. I haven't watched that in a while. I think I'll watch it again. It was really good. I mean, I just remember it was really good.
Yeah, I feel like we also should give a shout out to Michael Nader as well.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for reminding me, Frank. Yes, Michael. To me, I mean, come on, folks. I mean, Dexter. On Dynasty, 80s prime time. He held his own with Joan Collins. He was he's on other shows too, of course, but I just had to mention Dynasty. He was so good on there. He was so manly and just like very 80s or whatever. And then of course, All My Children and other things he's done. But he's done a bunch of things. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's been around for a long time. And so I think it's another soap person we have to kind of give a shout out to that. Did amazing work. And I don't know much about his life. I don't know much about his personal life or anything. I've never heard anything about him, I don't think.
I know at some point towards his later years of All My Children, he had some issues with addiction and stuff that he.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. That does kind of sound familiar.
But I feel like his run in the 90s as Dimitri Merrick, and you got John Callahan as Edmund Gray. That right there was this peak poor Pine Valley, All My Children for me.
And John's not here either. So, I mean, they're both gone. I mean, I know Eva LaRue, John's ex-wife and frequent singing partner. Susan Lucci, obviously, you mentioned her. But yeah, he was a manly man. He was a leading man in a soap genre that's mostly women, about women. He did stand out. So I agree with you, Frank. He did. He totally stand out. So all my children fans, especially to Dynasty fans, all my children fans, everybody, all fans of him. A shout out to him too. I mean, it's kind of everybody's. People are going. I know that's what life does. You don't leave here alive. But it's always still kind of like, oh, okay, that's so sad.
And I'll be curious because I mean, we did see, at least his hand as
Yes.
he was sending off that that stuff on General Hospital. So yeah, whether we get an acknowledgement of his passing or we just never hear anything of it, I don't know.
That's true. That's right. It's very true. Actually, I'll be very curious. They might. Who knows? It's ABC, so maybe they may. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. And a happy birthday to Kelly Tebow, who plays Britt Westbourne. We love her portrayal. It's her birthday. Happy birthday to her. I'm trying to get her on the show. I've never met her, but I want her on the show.
Man, that is another character that a little of her went a long way for me at the beginning. But this recent go around, boy, they've really done a good job of kind of making her a more well-rounded character. And I've been enjoying her tremendously.
I agree. And last but not least, so the soap block happened. So we had no Y&R today because half my co-hosts were in blizzards, wrong season, in hurricanes. Prayers out to Amanda Russ, my co-host. Hopefully she's evacuated. She's apparently okay that we know of. Your fingers crossed. There's no power. So anybody in the South right now, in the Gulf states over there, we are sending everything out to you guys. But tomorrow, if you're a Y&R fan, the interview to end all interviews, it's me and Taraya, Cameron Grimes, and Kate Banks Part 2. I will be out tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when all of Y&R has aired across the country. Then Y&R said I can release the video, release the Kraken. Release the video. So that'll be out tomorrow. 41,000 of you watched the first one. So I'm very curious. I'll be out tomorrow on JLJ Media.
It better be 42 at least. Or you guys are in trouble.
Get you. Frank will come get you. I'll send Frank on you. And Bold and Beautiful's out now too. Me and Tammy Govea, we did our show, our crazy little show. And we did that. It's out on all social media platforms, of course. And I'm Bold and Beautiful. I'm Bold and Beautiful Universe. That's out. Tony Moore over there is doing Edition Days. They're probably finishing up soon. They're doing Edition Days, talking about Days of Our Lives. They're doing that right now. And GH Dirty Deeds has a new episode where I go into more detail about what's going on behind the scenes on General Hospital with the latest, Frank. I'm sure you guys heard this. Kimberly McCullough clapped back at Ingo. Ingo clapped back at fans. He screamed at fans. So it's getting crazier, you guys. Frank, it's getting crazier. I watched the video. Frank, I mean, he went off on the fans. You're all big. It's almost like you're a liar. No, you're a liar. I was like, is this a joke? He was going on with people.
Where people are bigots and for wanting him fired.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The fire Ingo thing. Yes.
But he would save you because he's that type of person.
So go check out that episode. I talk a little more about that on there, and that's on all streams also. Okay, that's all your church announcements. Kimberly spilled tea on Maurice's show. I know she did. Maurice has a show called Better Mind, whatever. It's a fun show. Sean Kane and my buddy was on it recently, and it was really good. And it's a good show. So yes, and my girl Lindsay Godfrey was on it last week, so she was good too, from Bold and Beautiful and Days of Our Lives. So Kimberly McCullough is on today. It's out now, and she does spill the tea. They aired their dirty laundry, Frank. They're in their dirty laundry. And speaking of dirty laundry, I don't know what's their segue. There are 3 storylines, folks, that I really don't want to talk about, but I have to because I'm doing the show. It's a recap show. I get accused of all kinds of things. It's all true. I don't care. But I'm going to talk. We're going to just get them out the way now. I'm sure maybe you feel the same way. State of mind. Thank you. I know I was like state of grace. I don't know what it's called. But it's good. Okay. I'm kind of starting backwards going back, forward, starting Friday going back, because I think it's very important we discuss this, Frank.
Lay it on me, James.
Jason and Charlie. I feel like I just did a whole electric company thing. Jason, Charlie. He went in for a kiss on Friday. Did not see that. I did not see that coming, Frank.
I agree. Well, I mean, the way that I thought the storyline was kind of being set up and being played out is that, given Carly's conversation with Laura and that feelings that Carly was going to have feelings, and Jason giving his kind of feelings about Britt was going to be kind of reluctant, but doing this because it was for family and it was the best thing for Carly and Jason and everything. But for him to go in, I was like that. I was expecting Carly to go in and him to pull back. So to have it kind of switched, I was like, what? Where is this coming from?
I agree, Frank. Everything you said, I thought for sure it'd be Carly. I think most of you in the chat room probably agree the same way we thought. We're thinking, well, Carly, yeah. Because she was one who was reminiscing. She was like, remember Jake? And blah, 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 blah. And blah, blah. I'm like, okay, she was going there. But then all of a sudden, he went in for the kiss. She was like, nope. I'm like, oh. Everybody's like, they didn't see it coming either. I know, I really didn't see that part coming, because before that is how bad the storyline is. This is how bad it is that I'm on Jackson's side. That's how bad this show is. And it's like, I'm like, Jackson's correct about everything. Like, he's not saying anything completely wrong about this whole thing. And he basically called her out, Frank. He knows this is not for love.
Yeah.
It's not for love. He got it. He knows it. And she's just like, get out. Like, yeah, he caught you, bitch. That's what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Carly will not give it up. She will not give it up. And I feel like, especially to Jax, she's not going to give him the satisfaction of at this point, after she busted him trying to record the conversation. She's not gonna at all ever admit to Jax that he had something right about it. No.
But my thing is, Johnny Hayden, I agree with you. I scream no also for a kiss. I really don't see any chemistry with them. Not that kind. I don't see any love chemistry. I see friendship chemistry.
Yes.
Folks, that'd be like me and Frank going in for a kiss all of a sudden.
What? I thought we... What?
Oh. I mean, would you guys want to see me and Frank fall into a relationship? Come on, people. I mean, you're like, yes. Well, the answer is always yes, Frank. The answer is always yes, but that's beside the point. But I mean, it's funny. You see people who are friends. Like, I really do get the friendship part of them. That chemistry is completely apparent. I feel it. I just don't feel like, and I gotta see with some friends, some of the shows have people become friends and kind of come together, and I don't see it with them. I don't feel it.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting how quickly Jason cleared out the pool area.
Well, sure did.
It's like when I saw Jax kind of laying into you, but instead of punching him, I decided to do this. That was extremely fast that he made that happen.
Well, she said it too. She was like, "Oh, okay." When did you do this? Well, when you got upset, you're talking to Jax. I was like, that was fast.
Yeah, that was literally 2 minutes ago. It was literally that.
It was crazy. But I mean, I know some of you guys don't believe that. I know some Jax haters in here, and I get it. That's what I'm saying. That's how bad the storyline is, that I'm actually siding with him, because I don't. Like Kelly Noah says, they're like brother and sister, Jason and Carly. I kind of see that also.
Yeah, it's tough, and we've talked about this before too. The fact that Sonny is still alive, just makes it tough to really get to at all be interested, or even just buy in to the idea that that there's more to this relationship.
Yeah. It's
frustrating, and the Jackson side of it too. It's like, I think it's hard for fans maybe to kind of rabid fans, kind of separate their feelings about the actor to the character. Because I mean, the character itself, I don't, like you were saying, has a lot of great points.
Yeah.
But I just think it's easier for fans to be like, he's such a jerk. He's such a jerk.
You're right. I think you're right, Frank. I think you're right. And the thing that Carly, the one part that Carly was correct about, Josh is an adult now. He's 18. So this is her whole speech about, we don't co-parent anymore. We're just parents of this person. That part is true. That part I was like, okay, Carly. Like I know why you're trying to say that, but I do. But it is true. Like that part is true. Joss is now an adult, and this is a whole different playing field now. But Jax is correct. That's still his daughter. As a father, I was still want to protect my kids, whether they're 20 or 2. Doesn't matter. If you think a situation which there's mob guys just walking in in 5 minutes. I'm thinking we're going to the court. I'm sorry, to the Metro Court. And he's walking on in, and I mean, like, I get it. I get why he's like, this is a little crazy, you crazy bitch. I totally get it.
It's just weird when there's going to be so many mob members in this wedding. You're just like, why? Why would you want your daughter around any of that at all? But I will say, at least Jax was a jerk during the meal.
He was.
It's like, come on, Jax, you cannot play it cool, even for just a few minutes. What's going on?
It's hard, folks, sometimes when you have a baby mama or baby daddy. I have a couple of those, and it's hard sometimes. I'll just say that. Holding your composure.
Yeah,
it can be rough.
I am curious because when we get a great little scene after that at the bar of the Metro Court with Jason and that mob head of the other family, the Chuli or
the Finocchio, or I don't know the name. I don't know.
Yeah, that scene was just awkward, so awkward with the weird awkward like handshake at the end. Like, all right.
Oh my God, I don't know. I thought that going in for the kiss was weird because they've been playing it that he's into Brett. They've been playing that so heavily. And also, here's the thing. Chemistry is hard to come by, right? You can't really, some people can create it out of stuff, but a lot of times it's still hard to do. It's not hard to do. It's like either it's there, it's not. There are famous people who have chemistry and also can hate each other. What was it? William Frawley and Vivian Vance hate each other in real life. But as Ethel and Fred, they were magic, right? So I know it can happen. I know Shelley Long and Ted Danson fought a lot behind the scenes, but Sam and Diana Cheers were magic. I mean, so it can happen. It's just think in this case, it's not happening.
Yeah, and it's like I have zero interest in it. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'd be different if Sonny was not on the canvas at all. He was gone from the show, and we were moving on from that. Maybe because I guess it'd be hard pressed to see who else Carly would be with. Still, I don't know if I'd want her to be with Jason. I doubt it.
Well, it's related to this storyline. A storyline is bad when I'm going to say this live on air, folks, and you guys are watching later. Oh. It actually it literally physically makes me ill that I'm going to say this statement. Frank. A man is back. He's alive. No cuts or bruises. He's good, apparently. Roaming the streets of Nixon Falls and terrorizing the Tano. Well, terrorizing Nina. I have to say, his arrival does now up the ante, because now it's involving Liesel. Now it's involving Phyllis. Now it kind of ups the ante on that storyline. I halfway enjoying it at the moment. I know it's hard. Trust me. I hate the character of Peter. I don't want him on the show. But I have to say, in terms of pushing that storyline forward, I did not see that coming. And I'm kind of like, okay, I could go with it. I said it, Frank. I said it.
Anything that gooses the storyline along, I'm all for it. I cannot say again how tired I am about any scene between Phyllis and Mike, and then it's the mention of Nina. You got to tell Nina how you feel. You got to. And for her to go off on Mike about him kind of, while he was calling out Peter about, hey, I don't think you're really on the up and up. And it's like, hey, you don't like anybody that gets close to Nina. It's like, well, it was Elijah and it's Peter. That's it. And it's like, Phyllis, he was right about Elijah. So why don't you chill out? Yeah,
right. He was totally right about him.
Yes. So listen to Mike. He's got a reason to be wary with this guy.
Oh, okay. So last week I told you people, if I got people who said they like a certain character, a certain whatever, and the will, all this stuff, no one really, nobody gave me anything. But I see a person in here, B. Patterson, who's in here every week with us. She says, or he says, sorry, I like Peter. I'm glad he's back. That's one person so far. I just think his overacting is atrocious. I know it's like he's in high school trying to play a bad guy. He needs to twirl his mustache and tie Lillian Gish to a train track straight. That's what I'm waiting for next. To me, his acting is horrendous. I don't care. I said it. I don't care. And so for me, it's hard for me to take him seriously. Some of you guys saying you were laughing at me. Say, I was laughing too, but probably not for the good reason. I was just busted because he gave all these lines that were delicious lines, but his acting, the way he says them, and then I'm like, oh my God. I just want to, I want to pull my hair out. I want to pull, and I have hair now. I want to pull it out, Frank.
It's, I am torn between Peter's hamminess in a scene as well as Nina's inability to play it cool whatsoever, and which frustrates me because like Phyllis is watching, comes in on this conversation between Nina and Peter, and she's just like, oh, it's great to meet you, when Nina on her face is clearly not enjoying being around this guy at all.
Not at all.
It's so frustrating. There's so many scenes where Nina cannot pretend to act cool in a scene, and nobody picks up on it. Nobody does, and it's all right. It's insane. It is insane.
I agree. But again, I'm like you. I'm torn in the sense that if it moves this story along, then I'm here for it because the storyline is kind of like stalled. How many times should you get them kissing kind of and her pulling back, kissing and her feeling upset? You said not keeping a cool head. So I'm just like, okay, him upping the ante and saying, I'll take James if in 24 hours you don't give me a lead. Her calling Liesl was the best thing. I was like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. The best. Now we're involving her. Yes. Okay. And hopefully they're not far behind. You know what I mean? I feel like it could umbrella, hopefully. Because, I mean.
Yes, adding James into that kind of raises the stakes for Nina and makes her like, yeah, I got to definitely take care of this. But Peter's reasoning was so stupid. It's like, well, I somebody took Louise away from me, so it's only fair that I take James. How does that equate? How does that balance out? I have zero idea how that kind of goes along. But I did like that we didn't drag it out with like Nina for weeks, kind of just like that. It just went to boom, Liesl, come do this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying it's going by fast. It's going by. I'm like, okay, that's good. Again, it's so funny. I'm telling you, it's scenery chewing at its best. Well, okay, some folks in here are liking the way he's acting. They're liking that Peter is back. I'm very shocked. Like I said, universally, people don't like the character of Peter. So it's kind of funny that I'm seeing people in here, Frank, they're actually defending him and his acting. So, okay.
It would be fine if the lines that he has to say weren't so clearly over the top.
Yes.
Where it's like, if you heard somebody speaking like this, with his innuendos, like, oh, and I am sure Nina would do everything to protect you in return. Why would you not go like, what's up with this guy?
Right.
He's weird.
Right.
And nobody ever says it. They're just like, oh, it was great meeting you. Take care. See you later. Like, no, that is not how a normal human being talks. And you would pick up on these cues.
Well, so for you guys who like him in the character, good for you. Have enjoyed this run. For me, it's gonna be painful. But if it brings Liesl again, and then get Scotty. They're going to St. Lucia, which I've been to St. Lucia. Actually, a nice island in the Caribbean. They're going there. So if that brings some hijinks and some kind of fun stuff, I'm down for it. I mean, I'll ride the wave. I mean, if it brings the storyline to some kind of next step, that's all Frick and I want. That's all we want is a next step.
The only thing I'm curious is if, I mean, I guess Liesel is not going to try to rope Scotty into this. I think she's probably going to try to. It seemed at least this week that she was trying to, like, hey, Scotty, no, we're just not going to go on the trip at all. You can stay here. I'll go on the trip, so she has some kind of alibi. I was wondering if she would bring him into the hijinks and how Scotty would react. Because I mean, he killed Franco, so I mean, there's no love lost for Scotty, even though he is an officer of the court.
Yes, I just was like, okay. So that's what's going on there. And Mike, and just another side note, Mike felt a sense of deep loss. He doesn't know why.
Great. That's just great.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, I was like, yeah.
It's the same deep loss I have for my interest in the storyline.
Thank you, Frank. I'm the same way. And my thing, again, Peter looks pretty good for having been knocked in the head, bleeding, left in the freezer. I just don't even. I mean, I know it's a soap opera, folks. Before you start jumping on me, I know it's a soap, we do all this kind of stuff. But even sometimes with that, you're kind of like,
Yeah. I mean, no mention of like, is he going to be really mad at Finn when he sees him next? I have no idea.
And the other storyline, I don't want to talk about, but we must. Chase does the right thing, Frank.
Oh, finally. This.
I mean, but that whole exchange, folks. And again, I need to see if there's any Willow Michael fans out there. Because again, I haven't seen that either. It restored Chase's. He still keeps his good guy image because he was talked down. Michael and Willow came clean. Came fully clean and all that. So now he knows what's going on. And so I guess now Michael and Willow are together. I mean, I don't know. What do you think of this whole storyline this week?
For one, I'm glad that Chase's part is done, so we can move on to whatever's next for Chase. And if that's something maybe with Brooklyn or somebody else, great. Just because I don't care about Michael and Willow at all, and so I'm fine. Like, let's just relegate them to the past or whatever. I don't care where you take them to. It's just Chase's and Willow's scene at Chase's apartment. One, just the way people got around so fast. Like, Chase says, I'm going, and immediately is at his apartment. Immediately. I'm like, no. He's got to like maybe call an Uber because he doesn't have a car there. He's got to probably grab whatever belongings that he had with him.
Right.
Yes. No, but is immediately there. And then a Willow is like immediately there right after that. How are people going through the city so fast? But for their tearful goodbye, it's like, few people ever love as deeply as us. Like, I don't care. I don't either.
But I'm glad it's done. Now let's spin him off to another storyline. Let them have their time. Because I said again, Sasha's been spun off successfully with Brando. Let's put him and Brooklyn together. Let's just go ahead and do it. They already got a friendship. That's a friendship I can see turning into a relationship. So I'm like, let's go that direction.
Yes, and especially when things kind of blow up with the baby and that all coming out.
Yes.
Great time for Chase to be there to comfort.
I see it. I think so. So I'm like, let's spin him off into something else. But that does kind of lead us to some storylines that I don't mind. I like the whole Austin Gatlin Holt, as they all call him, storyline. I'm liking that. So Chase gave the paper to Michael, and Michael did the right thing and said, "Here you go." So I thought, him and Ned, they are the good guys in the Quartermain family. So I thought it was on brand. They both were like, well, it's here. I mean, if that's what grandfather wanted, that's what he wanted, so to speak.
And again, Michael has the valid point as well, too. It's where, hey, Valentine's running this company really well. So, it'd be one thing if this company was, whoever was running it was doing terrible stuff with it. Then yes, but it's like, what's the big deal? We're getting our share of the profits, and
right.
The company's doing well. So I feel like really only Brooklyn's got the big issue with it.
She does.
Yeah.
And then, but remember, it's also compounded because she's one of the two ladies' voices he thinks he remembers. We don't know if that's a lie or not. So from that, when he saw Maxie, she jumped out of her skin, kind of course, when she sees him.
Yeah.
But I like that he just kind of, he's so, Roger Howard is really, I think he's doing a great job. I just think he's finally playing a character that he can really, with no baggage, like Franco had baggage. I just feel like he can actually play this character fully. And he's so no nonsense. He's so just like, I don't care. When Brooke was going off on him, he's like, okay. He didn't give two S's about what she was saying. He didn't care. He didn't care at all. He talks to everybody. He's just kind of like, okay. I like his nonchalance. It's like, well, okay, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm not done. He just doesn't care what they think. And I love it. I love it.
It's and it was interesting because Michael's point, it's like, hey, he has this letter, but it still doesn't, the will's not changed. So it's not going to be that easy to go and prove it in court. And yet Scotty's like, this is a slam dunk. Get ready to board the gold train. All right.
I love him. He's so old school the way he talks sometimes. I just think Ken Shriner's the bomb. He can't do no wrong for me. So I love it. I love it. I love the way he talks. Like, so you can get this because you'll be rolling in the dough soon enough. He just leaves with the boo, the drinks. I love him. I love Ken Shriner. He gets a good half. But I like that Austin's kind of like looking at all of them going, I'm just here to avenge my father's, legacy. It's not really about any of you people. And I would think I don't think he doesn't mind. He wouldn't mind meeting them and getting to know them a little bit. I think on some level too. But they're all just kind of like, so I don't know. I like him. I do. And I keep looking at him and Maxie. Yeah. And you're saying Austin and Ava. They have that too. They played Austin and Ava. Well, not Ava right now. I'm leaving for a while, whatever thing she's saying. So we're there with Nicholas. But she has her own storyline. She's too busy over there. But they've been throwing them together too. But I'm looking at her and Maxie. I'm like, I don't know. Might be something. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for it, just to have Maxie either, not be with the cop again. So let's move on.
Yes. Oh, Christ. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes.
No more law enforcement for Maxie.
Yeah, Melina Jean Lewis says, I think Austin has eyes for Maxie. I think he does. I think he likes her too. Austin used to go, Tara Kid was like, Austin used to go on YouTube and look at his daddy's sketch history. He's laughing. She's laughing. He's like, well, they don't have, they can't do that. It's a fictional world. We can look at it, but he can't. That's funny. Yes. So Austin and Ned talked. Austin and Brooklyn talked. Austin, he talked to everybody. Austin just makes the rounds. And so I like him. I like the character so far. I do. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. And now that Maxie is planning the wedding of Carly and Jason.
Well, before we talk about that for a second, I mean, they're also really playing up this thing with Leo as well too.
I was going to get there next. I was going to get there because that's a strange thing too. No, that's a strange one. Because which we'll go with that. I'll just say that Maxie's saying now she's doing the wedding. I just want to mention ice motorcycle sculptures. That's all I want to say. Motorcycle ice sculptures, like I say, everybody. Okay. They bring out Leo. He ignores Sam. But he says, hi, Dante. They're both their little brother. And he cut himself. And so I believe he's autistic.
At least that's what I've read on as well. That's possibly a direction they're going in.
Spectrum. I have a nephew who's autistic, so I was looking at his behavior. Like, okay. So I think that's, and Olivia did overreact to that, that cut. And then, Austin, going back to Austin, I want to make sure I see him again. So he's noticing something.
Yeah.
Up with the kid. So I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what comes of that storyline. I mean, I guess it's coming towards the fall. Isn't that when they kind of do like the Shriners Hospital for Kids and all that stuff?
Oh yes, they do. You're right. So okay, so bringing Leo out. We're seeing Scout, who's like in the dream sequences for Drew, and now we got Leo coming out. They drag out Danny once in a while. We haven't seen Jake in a while, but they're out there. But
I mean,
Leo,
yeah, I'm down for the storyline. It's just, did you have to write Olivia so over the top though?
oh
It's like there had to be a better way to get Leo to the hospital
yes,
than that.
I agree. Leo has good taste. I ignore Sam too.
Yes.
Yes, and he go on your buddy. She said that. Um, that's yeah. That's it's just I think it's on a spectrum. So we usually see what they do with that storyline. I'll be very interested to see what they do that. And we mentioned Drew. Another thing I see coming: the real Nurse Chloe Jennings alive.
I know, from the somebody you never asked for, and you got it. I'm like, okay, cool, sounds good.
I guess it seemed like it was implied that he killed her and threw her in a trash can, but we never saw the body or nothing. So then what do you do with it? They had her. So is he behind all that? And now I'm confused. I'm like, oh.
I guess so. He he just got her abducted and like sent somewhere in the world to be a nurse over there. That's insane. It's insane.
Who Drew tried to get him to help her to help him. Yes. Didn't work. Didn't
I can
work.
take another beating. I can do it.
The pen got caught.
Yeah.
And Frank, there's another woman there.
Could it be Hayden? I don't know. I again, this is a storyline. I'm excited to have Drew back, but let's not drag this out too long. Let's get it. Let's get this thing moving.
I agree. Speaking of dragging out long, but adding a new twist to it, which I'm kind of intrigued a little bit. This Esme Prince chick, creepy, and
Yeah.
Harmony even said so. She was like, Alexis, you need to watch out. She's not good news. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she basically was saying, watch out for this bitch. There's something wrong with her. Because, okay, I mean, I've been hearing rumors, but it's not been confirmed that she's Ryan's daughter. I was saying it could be she's obsessed with Ryan, that she's a copycat, she's obsessed. So she's bad news. You can tell she's bad news. The way they have her playing everybody, she's weird. She's totally weird. She plays it weird. Maybe we should audit classes at PCU. I'm like, okay. And I think Spencer knows she's a little cuckoo too. He's looking at it like, okay, bitch, I didn't tell you to do that. But I'm kind of interested. I am kind of interested in that. But when Ryan was blinking go, he's like, go, bitch, go. He's like, he just letting her go. So that's interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe they've already looked at the letters, so that's kind of. But perhaps there was a letter to Esme, but they had no correlation about that. So they never even thought about that. Although I feel like Esme would be a name maybe you remember, maybe you not. If you're looking,
I knew an Esme when I was a kid. I knew an Esme. I did. Even Ryan seems scared of her. I'm like, something going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if like maybe it's Esme got read Spencer's letter and then resealed it, so she read that and was intrigued, or it's what you're saying that possibly she's a daughter of Ryan.
Yeah.
Props to Harmony for picking up what he was saying with those eye blinks, because I was like, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's.
Got it. She got it. She was like, and she was like, okay. I mean, he was like, get this bitch out of here. And she's like, well, sometimes they get tired from blinking their eyes. I'm like, no, you know what he's saying. He's saying, get her out of here. And for Ryan to say that, like, something going on. But when she said, she went straight to Alexis. She was like, girl, and she didn't say that, but it's paraphrasing. This is my better dialogue. Girl, you and Molly, you're in danger, girl. That's what she wanted to say. All girls in danger. Because, I mean, this Esme said, she's like, maybe she get a job here. I'll see you later. I'm like, all these things like, you're freaky. You're freaky. Mm-hmm. And Harmony goes, you look like an Esme. I did chuckle when she said that. But earlier in the week, her and Trina. Earlier in the week, I'm like, ooh, she's trying to get to Trina. And she was like, we're just, I don't know much about Spence. I don't know much about him. I don't know anything about him.
Well, also, one last thing with Harmony and Alexis is that at the end of that, they cut to Ryan. And so I couldn't quite tell I'm curious to see if Ryan is protective of Esme. And so they're showing that. So it's like, all right, I got to get rid of Esme. Or I got to get rid of Harmony. I don't know. But Yeah, yeah, Esme and Trina. Uh, okay, maybe we go get Manny Petties. Maybe we get together, or Spencer, go get me some more truffle fries. These are almost as good as what we had in Belgium.
Oh my god! I'm like, she is trying too hard on purpose because they keep it takes us to the side. Well, we got to make an alibi. We got to act like normal. And I feel like Spencer's in over his head. I feel like he doesn't know who this bitch is. He don't know what's going on.
No, he's getting played hard by
Yes.
Esme.
But
Sure.
it's clear he is the stalker. Everybody is clear he's the stalker and she's helping him.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So when that all comes out, he's gonna get it.
I feel like they can't do that reveal until Laura gets back.
Yeah,
We got to have those scenes of Laura laying in.
Woo! That's right. You know what, Laura? When Laura reads you, you need to go lay down. You need to go lay down because it's gonna be, it's gonna be crazy. Another relationship that I'm kind of enjoying. They're all Frank, you're hilarious. Yes, Frank is hilarious. Britt and Terry.
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed that. Go ahead.
I agree. I thought that was and a good scene because I mean clearly if you're going to do a co-job, at some point somebody's going to try to play one against the other. So that was a great example to kind of illustrate that, and also as a way to kind of bring Terry and Britt kind of on the same side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Elizabeth tried it. She tried it, folks, and then she was getting mad at Terry. She's got a little tear or whatever, and then Britt comes in, and so now they're kind of like they're begrudgingly becoming friends. I kind of like that. Now, somebody in the chat room was like, I guess was hoping that they come together and become a relationship. You want to see homegirl go sapphic, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, let's see Terry doing her thing, having a relationship. That's cool.
With Brett.
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, sure, okay.
Yeah, but one scene I did enjoy with Britt was that conversation with Liesel, and just like the way that Britt kind of just broke everything down. It's just like that was just a really nice scene between the two of them, and where I guess of the two, it's like Liesel and Britt kind of work out. I feel like at different levels. Like Britt, for her purposes, I think she needs to be more of a well-rounded human. Liesel, yes, you want those human moments, but she still has that flexibility to kind of, you can dial her up and to be really, just the arch kind of villain if you want to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm so glad they're using our girl. I mean, she's so good anyway. But the mother dog, they have come a long way. So that's kind of, it's been fun seeing each of their paths, their arcs. Liesel's and Britt's, they both were totally at one place at the beginning, and now they're in another place. That was really mature of Liz trying to play Terry, but yeah, it was. I mean, she knew what she was doing. Everyone wants to ship Britt with everyone. She's got chemistry with so many characters. It's true. It does.
Yeah,
it does. I mean, it's crazy, but Liesel is showing that she still cares about her daughter, and she wants to make sure she wants Jason to pay. She is not happy with what he did, which is a mother's prerogative. But very interesting. I don't know. I thought it was. They have her in several storylines right now, so I like that she's around several storylines.
Hey, remember when Lucas used to work at the hospital?
What?
Remember when Lucas used to work at that hospital?
Who that? Who's Lucas? Who's Lucas? Who that is? Jocelyn, Jason had talked, and everybody noticed it wasn't the Moss. It was some other thing.
Much like Ginny Francis, the Moss had to take its little,
take a little break vacation. Oh, where's my Moss? Where's my big thing of Moss? What is it? What's this thing that's sitting there floating around here? But they had a talk, which I thought actually was kind of cool. I mean, in a weird way, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, in the universe of Port Charles, I mean, what Jocelyn says makes sense. Where it's like anybody looking at Carly would be hard pressed to see anybody else that'd be well suited for her.
Yeah,
like Jason.
Yeah, because her and Jax could have been, but they're fighting. I think they're over.
Yeah, and I even liked just the scene between Jocelyn and Cameron after Carly said, "Hey, just go up to the pool. I'll let you know when it's safe to come down." But Jocelyn's sort of kind of embarrassment. It's like that's really the first time, I've really seen my parents kind of just not be cool in front of me. Yeah, so I thought when you kind of realize like your parents, like for so long, you thought like, oh yeah, they're totally cool parents, and even though they're divorced, they get along so well. And then realizing, oh wait a minute, things aren't as great as I thought they were.
Speaking of that, Sam and Dante go to Anna and Valentine about Drew. So moving that along a little bit, but it's your girl Sam involved.
No, I care so little about Sam being in there. What I did like though is like, yes, there wasn't any coyness, that we were just all being direct about that.
Mhm.
Boom, get that information out. You know what? And in fact, I wish Anna and Valentine would say, you know what, Sam, why don't you just sit down?
Right.
As you would say, James, take several seats. We'll
Yes.
take it over from here, and then just
Yeah.
let just Anna
We
and
got
Valentine run with the storyline.
Yeah, we got this. So that's very interesting. Cyrus put out a hit out on Laura and Kevin. I mean, Laura and Martin. He put a hit out on them. Where did that come from?
I mean, I guess it's if you got to write Jeannie Francis out for a few months, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate though that Michael has to go along with that.
I know.
So it's I hope you had summer plans as well, Michael.
Yeah, we did too. Okay, because you're gonna break, whether you like it or not. But this whole intriguing part of step grandpa Kevin dealing with Spencer, I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, which I hope they make use of that, and it's
Yeah.
not just something that's always mentioned off camera. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we talked to him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that Ryan is still going to be involved in this, I mean, so he's going to be around, but I want to see more. It still is interesting that we have not had a Kevin Ryan scene though.
No, we haven't.
At first, when Kevin was like, "I'm going to go over there and kind of find out what's going on," I thought we'd get one of those scenes. Nope, nothing happened. So it's I don't know what the long-term plan is for that.
I don't either. But adding this Esme thing in there does add a new dimension to that storyline.
Yeah.
Ava wanting to lead, protect, her kids and everybody. There's Esme chick popping in somewhere. Alexis is near him. Harmony's working for him. Like they're gearing up for something. They're gearing up.
And I feel like I'm hoping that the rumors that of alleged script leaks about Laura wanting to divorce from Kevin are false, because I don't think the show, even though they're ahead of schedule, they're not that far ahead. That they're already writing for when Jeannie Francis comes back.
Yeah. She'll be a good mother, blah blah blah. I think. Oh, let's see. Make sure I caught. Make sure we everything. Talking about Chasing Finn, Max. Oh, Maxie. I just want to come here. I might have to see my baby, but I'm just blah blah. And then this is what I wrote down. I think I wrote down. Maxie to Carly. Thanks for helping me keep my mind off Louise. 2 seconds later, runs into Valentine and Bailey. 3 seconds later, hold Bailey for a second, and steals a little pacifier.
That I don't understand why. Why would you take the pacifier? I don't understand that at all. I mean, like, I think the baby needs it more than you need to hold on to it, Maxie. And I don't see what holding on to that. I don't know what that gets you. I don't know. But I guess I've not had to take my child or have him pretend to be somebody else's. So I can't.
You haven't recently? Not recently? No. Okay.
No, it's been a few years since.
Okay, just checking. That last job you got. I get it. Like, I haven't stolen my grandchildren yet either, and done anything with them. So I mean, it's been a while.
I mean, for a while, I was thinking Nurse's Ball as when everything was really going to come to an head, but it feels like it's going to be Carly and Jason's wedding. So
I so too.
Great. Let's get Mike out there. Let's get Peter involved. Let's get Peter knowing that Bailey's Louise. Let's get it all going down.
I agree. But we actually covered everything. I mean, that's an hour. We covered everything about it. I'm still going. Yes, we covered that. We did. I covered. I'm looking at. We covered. Yeah. Everybody. We catch. Did we not catch anything? No, I think we did. We covered Tammany. I'm also up at Leo. Yeah. Drew and the nurse. Yeah. We covered. Rose out. We covered. I got my notes.
There you go. Oh, I'm looking forward to for Drew and Nurse Chloe to be the new hot couple on.
Well, I can see that happen, right? I can see it. I can see them. He tried to convince her so heavily, so to help him, and so I think she was brought on to be a talk to for him, so he could talk to somebody. Yeah. I think we all can see that, of course.
Because I God bless him, but I do not need to see Ghost Sam and Ghost Scout standing there in front of him. I'm coming for you. I'm coming home, Scout. Don't worry. I'm coming. I'm good. Don't need to see that anymore.
I know. It's this show is so hit or miss for me these days. I would give it a B-. C+ possibly. There's just a lot of storylines I'm like, There's some I'm intrigued by. I would say I'm intrigued by. So I mean, they have a great cast. That's not the problem. But well, not everybody. They have a great cast. But I'm just like,
yeah. There are a lot of great ingredients. They're not put together in the best way to make a really delicious show.
Yeah, I agree. I think Esme is the actual stalker and not Spencer, which they could do that to make Spencer still a good kid, so to speak.
Well, yeah, but he was in the gallery, though.
I know, he was in the gallery.
So he's not completely in the clear.
Hope Hayden or Holly is in the other jail cell. Those are the two choices to me.
Yeah. And I'll be curious. I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard anything about Rebecca Budding coming back.
No, they haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I would give it a D. Oh, Nathan Banks. Show a D.
Yeah. I'd tell you, I have zero interest, much like Chase, in going on that camping trip with Finn and Liz and the kids. Zero interest in that. That's going to be excruciating.
Yes, it is. But, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah. Let's get Chase back in the PCPD.
I agree.
Let's get him and Dante working on something, and let's see something going.
Yeah, now that he's walking and stuff, just let's go back. Let's go back. Him and Finn had a scene together too. That was good. Let's get it all rolling. Let's get it back together. Bring back Jackie and Homeboy. Let's see what's going on. Let's get back to work. Back to work, folks. Just walk it off. Walk it off. Let's get back to work. Ready to say, because it's all about Dante, and that's getting my nerves.
Yeah, and it's that is the one shame that having Curtis be a club owner with Savoy is that I feel like he's not going to be as heavily involved in the retrieval of Drew coming back to Port Charles as I would like.
No, he's not. He's like, I'm running a bar.
Yeah. But when he gets back, it's like, hey, buddy, let's crawl into a garbage bin again. We make fun of that.
That was funny. That was that, yes. Peter or Pie publicly can't feature. Who knows? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Peter, I don't even talk about him. So, okay, that's your show for today. That's your show. We will not be here next week. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm not laboring next weekend or going into labor or giving birth or whatever. My grandson, Rylan, turns 15 this weekend. So I will hopefully be with him celebrating his birthday. So I won't be here, folks. You won't be here. Frank won't be here. Nobody's going to be here. But we'll be back the following week.
Yes, we will. I'll be, hopefully something good will have happened by then.
I know. I'm like, oh my goodness. Frank, that's 2 weeks. We can only hope. That's 2 weeks worth of shows. We can only hope. And one less day because the following is Labor Day weekend. So one day.
Oh, that's right.
4-day week. We come back. We'll be back. All the stuff will be back then. I think that date is if you always ask me this stuff, that is the 12th. So September 12th, finally after September 11th. It is the 20th anniversary of September 11th this year, too. It's kind of weird. 20 years ago. Well, I remember where I was when I heard all that stuff. Yeah. That happened. But yes, I'm going to be with family next weekend. Frank's going to wander the streets and go to Starbucks and get donuts. And get donuts or something. I don't know what you're going to do. What's he going to do? But we'll be back. Frank, where can find you? Where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Happy Go Jackie.
And a new episode of The Grown-Up Adventures of the Tooth Fairy comes out this Thursday, episode 3, and Frank is in that playing Dr. Frost. If you want to hear him be a bad guy, go ahead. While he's trying to extract teeth from the Tooth Fairy, check that out. All your also local listings, but not local listings, all your streaming services. Like that. So check that out. You can follow me. We're all James Jr. Sold at James Jr. and also streaming platforms. I'm up for an award. I'm up for 3 awards this week on Tuesday night. We'll see if I win, or our buddy Flobo wins, or our buddy Colorado wins, or our girl Candace wins. We're all nominated against each other. All your friends, Frank, are nominated against each other.
No, sorry, James. It's you or nothing. If anybody else wins, they're immediately dead to me.
Good answer. Good answer. That's a good answer. So that's on Tuesday night. That's the Capital City Web Awards. If you want to watch it, go to Capital City Web Awards show on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Subscribe, and you can see what happens. I pre-recorded my acceptance speeches already. We had to, so you'll see what I said, and if I win 1 or 2 or 3, who knows? If I win any. But congratulations to all the nominees. It's been fun. I have an award already from 2 years ago, so I have one on my mantle.
2's better. 3's even better. Yeah, better than that. I assume you'll be wearing a tux as you watch it, though.
I will get dressed up just in case some video opportunity comes around. I will be dressed up. So, but you guys will see. I'll make sure you see if you miss the show, I'll make sure you'll see the acceptance speeches and things like that if I do win. I have them all on tape, so I'll just roll them for you at some point. But we'll see what happens. But it's the Capital City Web Awards. Anthony Anderson started. It's a great award show celebrating content of color. So that's why we're all doing this. So I'm very excited. And again, be nominated with my friends, Flobo Boys, Carla Renata, Candace Mack. They're all great people. So I'm glad to be nominated against them. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time. So that's what's happening. But we'll see you in a few weeks, everybody. Please have a safe Labor Day weekend. I know it's been a big thing, but get vaccinated or wear a mask or something. Shit. Do something. Let's help the community so we can get through this tough time period. If you're getting your stimulus checks in California, good luck to you. Spend them wisely. And everybody just have care and compassion for each other and watch General Hospital on ABC weekdays at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on ABC.
Yeah, there you go.
Here in Los Angeles.